this Nokta Makro Legend out here early in the morning, about 6 o'clock here. Okay, I'm gonna reset this machine just for safeguard here. Okay, I want to show you a little test that you can generally do with a metal detector, and it will generally give you a good idea about which program is better at unmasking in modern trash. Okay, when it comes to multi-frequency. Okay, we're at beach wet right there. Okay, and we've got the old clad dime and the nickel. Okay, a regular nickel. Put them down one on top of the other. The dime on top first. Let's see what this machine reads. Beach wet. You see that right there? 42. Now that nickel is interfering with this detection with that dime a little bit, but that's a pretty good idea on that dime. Here's a solo dime. Okay. And I'm going to put it back on top and sweep it. Okay. Now I'm going to toggle back over here. Here's M1 power. See how much lower that is? Back to beach wet. Now we're going to put the dime on the bottom and the nickel on the top. You see how high that ID is? That's good. Okay. Now let's go back over here and look at Power Multi 1. See how low that is? Actually, do you notice when you check this in Power Multi 1, see that reading there? And when you reverse these two coins and put the dime on top, you don't really get a very different ID, do you? That's usually what that would tell me. That would be a poor performer in modern trash. Okay, it's running too low a frequency. Okay. Now, let's put the dime and the nickel here just side by side. And here's M1 power. See that right there? So you're out in the field, you sweep that. All right, from 5 inches above. What would you get? 28? Well, I mean, that's barely above nickel ID. Okay, go over here to multi-wet. Look here what we get. See, we get a higher ID. Okay. Let me turn this camera off here. We'll look at a few other things. Got a zinc and penny here first. Now that board there's about 3.5 inches tall there. Okay, now there's a zinc and penny down there in beach wet. Okay. You see what that reads? So you're out in the field. Let's say you got your tone brake set on, let's say 40 or 38 or whatever, okay, and you come across that signal there, and you're like, okay, that could be a zinc and penny, right? Okay, here's a silver dime back down there with the old can slaw, right down there with it. You see that can slaw right there? All right. What if we're out in the field and we sweep over that dime and that can slaw? Oh, we're not getting dime ID, are we? But we're getting higher than zinc and penny ID. All right, that is a silver dime. Now I'm going to transition back over here to multi 1 power. You see what you got? You don't know what you got down there, okay? All you know is you got a non-ferrous tire. You ain't got a clue, okay? Back to multi-wet. Look at that. It's telling you there's a high conductor down there now. If I switch this zinc and penny out for this dime, okay, now that zinc and penny reads 41.42. Let's see what it reads with a can slaw. See there? 39. So it's reading a little low, but not this low. 32. See, what does that tell you? It don't tell you squat. Okay. Let me turn this camera off. The can slaw's on top of that silver dime. Now, there's some of that silver dime exposed, but look at that ID. All right, 48. We're going back over here to multi 1. Well, that part there works right. All right, let me turn this camera on. Here, you see what I've done to it here? It's all inside that fall, okay? Look at there, covered up in the fall, okay? It's a big old piece of fall there, boy. There's an old quarter in there. Here's Park M1. Well, that ID, what does that tell us? That's not even a nickel ID. See that? What about Beach Wet? Look at there. See that meter? We're almost getting silver dime ID in that machine right there on that quarter, that clad quarter wrapped up in that fall. I'll let you see it there. See what I got? See, you get out in these sites and you go to hunting, you don't know what you're going to find. You see the distance? That's a big old piece of fall there. They're keeping this call in the plane above that fall, okay? Beach Wet. There, it's trying to hit that, okay? But watch what happens over here in multi-park. Okay, you don't hear that same tone trying to kick in there, do you? Okay. Now, what we'll do here, just for kicks on this little test right here, we're at 60 tones. We're going to go up here and we're going to start playing with a tone break. Let's get it up here. Let's get it up to about 40, 38. Hear that? Listen to that. That's a 38 tone break. We'll go to 40. You hear that? All right. That's 40 tone break. Slip back over here to M1 Power. All right. 60 tones. Tone break. Let's see what happens here. See that 40? Listen to it. That's 40 in Park. And here's 40 in Beach Wet. $40 in Beach Wet. Let's hear what it sounds like. Sounds better, don't it? All right. Silver diamond, a nickel. I mean, it's not a war nickel, but they're sitting there. You see them side by side, okay? 40 tone breaks set in both. This is speed 8. Beach Wet and speed 8 over here in the old Park M1, okay? Now, the iron bites, we ain't even messed with it. It's been 8 in all these tests you've been seeing. Okay, here's Beach Wet. Hear that? 40 tone break. Now, the idea is not correct on that dime. You know, that nickel's down there. I'm getting 36 and I've got a 40 tone break. Okay, I'm going to just transition over here to M1 and the Power. 40 tone break again. Listen. Different sound, ain't it? Different sound. Okay, listen. Okay. Big old nail laying here. Got a mercury dime over there. Now, the iron filter's 8 in both of these modes. Beach Wet and Park Multi 1, okay? This is Park Multi 1. I'm going to hover this dime now. I'm coming across the barrel, which is the easy way. What's the ID on this dime here? Center of the coil right over the dime. You see that meter? Okay, Beach Wet doing the same exercise. You see which ID's higher? Which one's telling more of the truth? Beach Wet is, ain't it? Okay, turn this camera off. Yes. You think this machine was a good nickel machine before? All right, using multi-park, 2, 3, all that stuff in the field. You see that fall above that nickel there? Nickel on this machine reads 26. I'll remove that phone and show it to you. I'll just look at all the park modes here. This is multi 1. You see that ID? M2. See that ID? M3. Okay, M3 is actually doing a pretty good job there. But now we're not too far above, that nickel's not too far below that fall. All right? Toggle over here, beach wet. All right, now let me go back to park here, M3. Watch the ID. See how that ID's jumping around? Watch what happens when I go back over here to beach wet. Look there, I'm 2 inches above that fall right there, or better right now. That's about an inch and a half above that fall. You see what that meter's reading. All right. And we get rid of that fall. What's that nickel read? Okay. So it makes it even a better nickel machine. Okay. Even a gold ring. Everybody forgets. That nickel there could be a gold ring, and you could have some fall over a gold ring in a field. Okay. Now it could be shallower. You could sweep over it. And everybody's going to determine what the odds are gold ring range is on this machine, okay? Well, a gold ring could get drugged down so low that you think it's in the more like the fall range. Well, you might be in beach wet here, sweep over. Well, that ring may pop in with a 20. And with a fall sitting over it, it may come in at 16 or 17, okay? Let me turn this camera on. It's sitting right back there where my thumb is. There's one of them old square tabs, okay? I'll show you what that square tab reads on this machine. Here's M3. Some people says M3 will bail you out, huh? We'll hover this coal over this dime right here. Maybe you see that meter. 28, okay? That's slightly above a nickel ID. All right? Beach wet. All right, let's move this over here a little more here. Beach wet. Let's see what we in here for speed. Speed 6. Look there, that's a 40. Now remember that pool square tab's still playing with this detector, but look at there. So I got a 41 at least. What about this M3? There's M3, look at that. That's supposed to bail you out of this situation. Oh, that's Park M3. What do you like? You like that? Look at there. What about M1? You see that meter? All right, back to beach wet. Oh, I like that better. I'd rather see a 41 in that meter on that test right there than a 29 or something. So I can run a high tone break and get that dime right there with that square tab coming this way. I can't do that with them other 2 modes I showed on this machine, okay? I think that's going to be enough for now, okay, to point people in the right direction that may want to squeak more targets out of modern trash with the mighty Legend. It sort of strikes me as odd here. You got all these testers using this machine. And we've not seen it. Me and Calabash are really the only 2 that's been talking about this issue with the field and park modes. On stuff like that right there in fall. And come to find out, the frequencies that we need probably with multi-frequencies in a beach program. The testers didn't tell Nokta Makro, hey, look, modern trash is a big deal with a legendary metal detector. Huh. I hope y'all enjoyed the video.